If you have $5,000 sitting in a standard savings account right now, you probably feel responsible. You should not. That money is quietly losing its purchasing power every single day. The longer it sits there, the more invisible damage occurs. In 2019, $50,000 bought nearly 6,000 burritos. Today, that exact same $50,000 buys fewer than 4,200. You did not spend a single cent, yet 1,700 burritos vanished from your balance sheet. This is the price of safety. It is a slow, silent wealth tax called inflation. To opt out right now, you must accept a different kind of risk. The U.S. Federal Reserve intentionally targets a 2 to 3% annual inflation rate to keep the economic gears turning. This target sounds harmlessly low, but its cumulative effect destroys cash. Cash is not a store of value. It is a depreciating asset. If your capital sits in a standard bank account, it dissolves day by day. You are effectively paying a premium just to hold fiat currency. To preserve wealth, your money must grow at a rate that outpaces this systemic decay. Over the past 80 years, the U.S. stock market delivered historical average returns of 8 to 10% per year. When you invest, you are not trying to get wealthy overnight. You are running a race against the clock to keep your purchasing power alive. You are buying assets that act as a shield against the inevitable devaluation of the dollar. The psychological barrier for many is viewing the stock market as a casino. It is not. It is a vehicle for transferring wealth from the impatient to the patient. By holding cash, you accept a guaranteed loss of purchasing power over time. By investing in productive assets, you accept short-term volatility in exchange for long-term preservation. You must shift your mindset away from hoarding dollars toward owning highly productive economic machines that build wealth. This brings us to a misunderstood concept: compound interest. You have heard the phrase that it takes money to make money. The reality is best illustrated with a simple mathematical progression. Imagine you have $1,000 earning a 10% annual return. In the first year, you earn $100. It is a modest sum. In year 2, you do not earn another $100. You earn 10% on $1,100, resulting in $110. If you leave that initial $1,000 untouched for 20 years, compounding turns it into over $6,700. Now, change the scale. If you have $1 million earning that same return, you make $100,000 a year just for owning the asset. The mathematical formula is identical. The real-world leverage is vastly different. More money equals more leverage. The returns increase proportionally to the size of your capital base. The hardest part of investing is not understanding the math. It is building the initial capital base that allows compound interest to do the heavy lifting. Once that base is built, the momentum becomes self-sustaining. The growth curve shifts from linear to exponential. Your wealth begins to accumulate faster than your labor ever could on its own, completely removing you from it. You might wonder why we focus on the stock market when other assets exist. You could buy real estate, gold, or speculative collectibles. For a beginner, the stock market represents a unique intersection of two crucial properties: liquidity and predictable historical returns. Liquidity is the ease with which an asset can be converted back into cash. If you purchase a home for $500,000 and suddenly need capital, you cannot simply retrieve it. You must list the property and navigate a slow transaction process. Real estate is highly illiquid. In contrast, the stock market is friction-free. You buy shares of a major corporation in the morning and liquidate them in the afternoon. The cash returns to your account within seconds. The second advantage is predictable long-term returns. The Standard & Poor's 500 tracks the 500 largest publicly traded corporations in the United States. It serves as a reliable proxy for the broader American economy. Historically, the index consistently trends upward over long-term horizons, despite inevitable short-term corrections and recessions. If you invested $100 in the U.S. market in 1980, that single investment would be worth over $17,000 today. Adjusted for inflation, your real purchasing power multiplied 44 times simply because you owned a piece of it. This brings us to a critical fork in the road for every new investor: the choice between individual stocks and index funds. The allure of buying individual shares of companies like Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, or Tesla is incredibly strong. It offers the distinct possibility of rapidly outperforming the average. But single stock investing is a deeply asymmetric risk. It requires immense research, continuous monitoring, and a high tolerance for severe volatility. Consider the cautionary tale of Intel. If you purchased Intel stock at its peak in the year 2000 for $72 per share, you would still be sitting on a net loss today, more than 2 decades later. An investment in the broader market over that exact same period multiplied capital more than 4 times over. Predicting which individual companies will dominate over a 30-year horizon is nearly impossible. This is exactly why professional wealth managers routinely place client money into index funds and exchange-traded funds. Active mutual fund managers charge high fees that directly eat into net returns. An index fund eliminates the human manager. It is an automated basket of stocks designed to passively replicate a specific market index. When you buy a single share of an ETF, your capital is instantly distributed across all 500 constituent companies, automatically and without friction. A common psychological barrier for beginners is the belief that they missed the boat entirely. When the stock market reaches an all-time high, the natural human impulse is to wait for a crash before investing. This is a severe mathematical mistake. Historically, the market spends approximately 8% of all trading days sitting at an all-time high. That is roughly 21 days every single year, where the market trades at a record level. New all-time highs are statistically followed by even higher all-time highs. If you sit on the sidelines waiting for the perfect entry point, you expose yourself to massive opportunity cost. The cost of missing the market's best days is mathematically brutal. If you invested over the past 30 years but missed just the 10 best performing days of that span, your total returns would be cut by 54%. If you miss the 20 best days, you lose 73% of your overall gains. Trying to time the market requires you to be right twice, once when you sell and once when you buy back in. It is a game professional investors consistently lose. Data shows that if your holding period is long enough, the initial entry price tag ceases to matter completely over the very long haul of time. To execute this strategy without letting human emotion derail you, utilize dollar cost averaging. Dollar cost averaging is the practice of investing a fixed amount of money at regular intervals, regardless of whether the market is up, down, or moving sideways. Instead of waiting to accumulate $12,000 for a lump sum, you invest $1,000 on the exact same day every single month for a year. This creates a powerful mechanical advantage. When the market is high and stock prices are expensive, your fixed $1,000 naturally buys fewer shares. When the market dips and prices are cheap, your $1,000 automatically buys more shares. This averages out your purchase price. It insulates you from the psychological trauma of investing your entire savings at a market peak. It turns investing from an emotional decision into an automated daily process. How much money do you need before you start? If you are a young professional with only $100 to your name, the return generated in the stock market is negligible. In that stage of life, your highest yielding investment is your own earning capacity. Open an account with a major, low-cost online brokerage. Select a highly diversified, passive index fund. Then, automate the process permanently to guarantee consistent results over the long-term future. The ultimate irony of wealth building is that the people who spend the most time watching the market often make the least amount of money. They trade in and out of positions, react to the daily news cycle, and let fear dictate their asset allocation. The most successful investors are not those who are highly skilled at predicting the future. They are those who are highly disciplined at accepting their inability to do so. Your financial success does not depend on outsmarting the market. It depends on outlasting your own impulses. Put the automated system in place today, step back entirely, and let time do the heavy lifting for you.